any worth? And about 2 years ago, when everything kind of just fell in on me, my mother was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and I was no longer playing with Jason Upton, even though he remains my best friend. And a hurricane hit our house. 2005 was a year of hurricanes, and everything was shaking. And in my mind, I was going to go out and play a bunch of electric music, and I had my pedal boards all wired and had my amps ready, and the Lord said, put all that stuff in the closet. I want you to do two things. I want you to take the acoustic guitar out of its case, and I want you to stop singing me surrogate love songs. I like it when Matt Redman sings that song, but I want to hear what you have to say out of your pain. You see, most artists get inspired when everything's going right. Very rarely do we get inspired when everything is going wrong. Nor do we want to talk about it. He said, also, I want you to mow a third of your backyard over, and I want you to plant a butterfly garden. And I thought I was losing my mind. It was like out of Field of Dreams. I thought, oh God, the neighbors are going to look over the fence and say, Tyrrell's completely lost his mind now. He said, I'm going to teach you more about me in 3 months than you've learned in 12 years of theology by watching one creature. So I did what he told me, and I planted all the things that a monarch butterfly would like. And within days, they started showing up at the house, and I watched these creatures, and they planted the first eggs on the leaves. And I would just sit there every day and watch the whole process. And I watched these little, I call them eaters, these little teeny caterpillars would pop out, and they would start eating. But all they did basically is eat and poop. That's all they did. I mean, that's basic. Every day it was the same old story, but all the while they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And they only had 2 sets of antennae, one on the front and one on the back, and these huge wasps would like dive bomb them, these parasitic wasps trying to kill them, and they'd go, oh, get away! All they'd have is these little antennas to try to get them to leave, So they were basically defenseless. All they did is eat and poop, and they had 6 sets of eyes, but they couldn't see very well, so half of my life I'm scooping them up from going into the swimming pool and committing suicide and putting them back into the milkweed flowers to eat. So I'm watching this process. I couldn't believe what Paula said today about the 7. It just cracked me up, because every part of the cathartic journey from the caterpillar to the butterfly comes in segments of 7. So I'm watching this, and one day I see this caterpillar hanging like a J. And I thought, J is for Jesus. Something's going to happen here. I like this. And all of a sudden, this green gook starts coming out of his mouth. And he's coating himself in this thing. And I thought, dude, you have no idea what you're getting into here. This is death on a stick. You don't have any idea what you're doing. And the green stuff's going around. And it's all fun until it gets to right about here. Then all of a sudden, he closes himself in. Now, most people think it's a slow process. The initial phase of the metamorphosis takes seconds. And here's what's so cool. I have seen cocoons, and have some now, where they close so fast that their head pops off. It's called the instar. So in some of you guys have lost your authority, haven't you? The head popped right off. There you are and there, and then all of a sudden, you know what happens? Gelatin. Everything that is made liquid in seconds. 7 days to the day will pass by, and the whole thing turns black. And then it turns this translucent clear, and you can see, oh my God, there's a brand new creature inside of there, but you can't touch it yet because it's not its time, you see. And it can't touch you because it's not its time. 7 days later, all of a sudden that black grape that looks like a shroud of death starts to crack open a little. And these 2 beautiful little legs pop out, and they start pulling. And it's nothing but struggle all the way until it opens, Shawn. Nothing but struggle. Struggle against the resistance, though, is what's pumping the blood into the wings so they can unfurl and get ready for flight. But that's only part of the story. When this beautiful creature comes out, he looks for the sun, because butterflies are heliotropes, which means sun seekers. So the butterfly comes out, and he starts looking for the sun. As soon as he finds the sun, the heat from the sun hits his abdomen and sets off the second enzyme pump, which shoots enzymes all over the wings so they're hardened for flight. So now this new glorious creature is standing on top of the cocoon, and one thing's real obvious. None of the materials that went into the cocoon have come out in the new creature. It's a whole different color. It's the color orange. You know what the color orange is significant of? Don't touch me, I'm toxic. I'm dangerous. The Bengal tiger, I'm dangerous. Don't mess with me. But what would make this butterfly dangerous? Well, when he was eating and pooping and he really didn't know what he was doing, kind of like Miyogi, wax on, wax off, and he really didn't know what he was doing? What he was eating was making his blood toxic to his enemy, but life to him all along. So that milkweed in the monarch butterfly, all of a sudden his blood becomes his protection. All of a sudden, all the predators see the color orange and they go, he's toxic, we can't touch this one because of his blood. Oh, but it gets better. So remember our former caterpillar, he had 6 sets of eyes, but he couldn't see anything. The new butterfly has 2 eyes, but they're diachromatic, which means they see everything that we see, but then they see in another realm. Are you with me? They see heat and color and radiation and colors that no man has seen before. So there is not one borrowed piece that comes out of the cocoon. Whatever went in there dies. I make all things new. So this creature is a complete picture of resurrection, but it gets better. Why is he created? I had to ask myself that question. And finally, what was the purpose of the cocoon? So this butterfly sits on top of this cocoon until he's ready to fly because he doesn't have to crawl anymore. And he blasts off when he wants to, but you know what? He doesn't come back and curse the cocoon. He doesn't come back and get, how many people get mad at the church? Angry at the structure. That structure got us here, man. We just outgrew it. You can't put a butterfly back in that cocoon. It's not possible. In 3 days, left to its own devices, that cocoon, the elements take it off into the wind. But where does the butterfly go? On an unbelievable journey that scientists can't even explain. All they know is the monarch butterfly, the ultimate heliotrope, also goes on a migratory journey that nobody can understand, and he's led by the sun the whole way. But here's what's amazing. Monarch butterflies from all over the United States and part of Canada fly one time a year on the exact same day they leave, and they find themselves in the mountains of Mexico over 1 square mile of real estate in the coldest time of the year on that particular mountain for one reason and one reason only: for community. They've come to find each other. They've come to be a family. They've come for progeny. They've come to be prolific. And here's what's amazing. If we can learn these lessons in the body, everything will shift immediately. Every 5 minutes, they're 12 deep, guys. When you look at these pictures, monarch butterflies are 12 deep. They're over a mile on this mountaintop. It just looks like a big collage of butterflies. But there's method to the madness. Every 5 minutes, they cycle through the mob, which means whoever was in the front 5 minutes ago will be on the outside, and it brings warmth through the whole body. Are you with me? So they're cycling in and out of each other, so no man is the main man, and everybody's sharing their warmth together to keep the body warm. Shh. And then here's the beauty. Their children come home and they land in the same garden where their parents left from. How do they know? It's just one of the deep mysteries of God. So you probably think, well, great, thanks for the insect lesson. Really appreciate that. But I wasn't talking about a bug. I was talking about you the whole time. A bug's life. That's us. Crawling around, eating and pooping. Isaiah 26, we even looked like we were pregnant a few times, but all we brought forth, according to the prophet, was wind or gas. We looked pregnant, but sorry, folks, it was just gas. And the end of that word, and check it for yourself and really study it. Isaiah 26, at the end of it, it says, neither have we changed our culture or brought salvation to the earth. But guess what? This pregnancy's coming full term. This one's coming full term, and you're coming right out. And Romans 8 is going to be manifested in the year of 08. Finally, all these seekers are going to have something to find. All these people that have been looking for a real lovable Jesus, somebody that operates in the agape and that can hug back and smile, we're going to be an infestation. They couldn't miss Jesus if they were blind.